If you want to be respected as a woman, and you've already tried setting boundaries and stopping people pleasing, but it's still not changing how people treat you, then this video is for you. If you are still being subtly dismissed, overlooked, or undervalued, I'm going to explain why. The truth is, boundaries alone do not create respect. Today, I will show you the deeper pattern that keeps disrespect in place, even in intelligent, self-aware women who know better. Hi, everyone. My name is Esther Barkue. For over 21 years, I've been helping women learn to respect themselves at the deepest level so that respect from others becomes the natural byproduct. And today, we are going deeper than surface tools. Let's start with what you already know. If you want to be respected, you need clear boundaries. You need to stop overgiving, stop apologizing for everything, including existing. You need to say no without over-explaining. All of those things matter. If you don't communicate your limits, people will unconsciously test them always. And if you chronically people please, others will unconsciously expect that behavior from you. But here's where it gets interesting. You can say the words, you can set the boundary, you can even hold your posture, your stance, and still feel small and insignificant, unrespected inside. And when you feel small inside, people feel that. They notice it energetically. Respect is not created at the level of behavior. It is created at the level of identity. And I understand this pattern deeply because feeling disrespected has been one of the biggest triggers in my own life. For years, when I felt dismissed or undervalued, my subconscious patterning would kick in and I would react, most often by lashing out and becoming very defensive. And of course, that only created more tension and more problems in my relationships and in my life. Eventually, I realized that simply setting boundaries was not enough. I had to go deeper and change the belief patterns underneath the trigger itself. So I want to ask you something important, a very deep question. Why do you tolerate disrespect in your relationships? Not consciously, but subconsciously. Why do you allow it? Because you're not weak and you are not naive. You are not unintelligent. You allow it because you are running a belief system. And that belief system activates in a split second. So, for example, your boss speaks to you sharply. And in a flash, your nervous system gets activated and runs. If I push back, I could lose my job. If I lose my job, I will lose my income. If I lose my income, I can't pay my mortgage. I could lose everything and I will be out on the streets. And just like that, you tolerate his tone and his words. Not because you don't deserve respect, but because your survival wiring equated confrontation with danger, with being out on the streets. And this happens in milliseconds. Now, if this is resonating with you, if you're realizing that you've been working at the level of tools, but not the core cause, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with a woman who needs to hear this message. There are so many capable women silently tolerating what they no longer should. And here are some of the anchors behind tolerated disrespect. They are beliefs like, I don't belong, I'm not enough, I'm unlovable. If I upset people, I will be rejected. If I'm rejected, I will be alone. If I am alone, I don't survive. Or the good girl identity. You were taught to be polite, be agreeable, be easy, don't rock the boat, smile and nod. And now you are 45, 55, 65, maybe even 75 years old, and that program is still running. Even though consciously you believe in empowerment, your nervous system still equates tolerance means connection. If I stay silent, that gives me safety. If I abandon myself, I will belong with the crowd. So you betray yourself in order to stay attached. Not because you lack strength, but because a younger part of you learned that this is how you survive in life. This is why some women say to me, I set the boundary, but it didn't change anything. Or I spoke up, but they still don't respect me. This happens because if internally you still believe they might leave, they might reject me, I need them, I can't stand alone, then the boundary doesn't carry any weight. It carries fear. And people feel that energetic incongruence. True respect begins when your nervous system no longer panics at the idea of someone being upset with you. When rejection doesn't equal annihilation. When disapproval doesn't equal abandonment. When you no longer need external approval to feel internally safe. That's when your energy changes. And when your energy changes, dynamics change. Sometimes the relationship grows into something beautiful and sometimes it falls away. But either way, you rise up and you blossom. Here's the real work. Learn to say no. Learn to stop over-explaining. Learn to stop over-giving. But if you want lasting change, you have to address the belief system that equates asserting yourself with danger. You have to resolve the identity that believes love must be earned through compliance. You have to update the internal story that says, if I lose this person, I lose everything. Because you are not a powerless child anymore. You are an intelligent, capable, grown, amazing woman, and you deserve respect. Not because you demanded it, but because you exist. If the information in this video resonated with you, and you're realizing that you want to move beyond coping strategies and create lasting change at the root, this is the work that I've been doing for over 21 years. The first step is to watch the video I've linked in the description box below. In it, I explain the process I use with my clients, share my own transformation story, and walk you through a client success case so you can understand how this work creates real change. After watching that video, if you feel aligned and curious about working together, you are welcome to apply for private work using the application form linked below. I work with a small number of women at a time, so the process is by application. Once I have reviewed your application and if it feels like a good fit, you may be invited to book a 30-minute alignment call with me. And on that call, we will talk about what isn't working in your life, the change that you are seeking, and how we can work together to make that change happen. And if now isn't the time for private work, I have many other videos on my channel that will support you on your personal and spiritual growth journey. In fact, I invite you to watch the video that's popping up on the screen right now. YouTube and I picked it out just for you, and I'll see you over there.